Hey guys, it's TF Now. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have another action figure review. This is going to be of the McFarlane Toys Doom Eternal McFarlane Toy Store exclusive gold label collection Doom Slayer in the classic skin here. It's kind of weird to be getting Doom Eternal figures from McFarlane Toys again after like 2.5 years of the game's popularity kind of going away and them not really making figures for such a long period of time. But we have some new ones now. We have 3 different ones, including this one, which is a McFarlane Toy Store exclusive. Like I said, and it's currently sold out right now. Hopefully they will drop some more pre-orders in the future. I have no idea yet. And part of me doesn't even want to open this because it's sold out right now. But I am going to open it and review it. Even though I've seen online, on Instagram, some people who have this. It's kind of a rough looking figure in terms of articulation and some other things about it, but we're just gonna have to see for myself, I guess. Anyway, let's take a look at the packaging here. Top half, Doom Eternal, 22 moving parts, ages 14 and up, not a toy. Really cool gold label foil type printing on the box right there. It's part of the cardboard. Looks really good. And the figure in the box, of course, with the backdrop there. Bottom half here is just the rest of the figures. You can see where it says Doom Slayer and Classic. On this side here, McFarlane Toys Doom Eternal, Bethesda and id Software. And then on this side again, McFarlane Toys as well as Bethesda and id, but this time it just says Doom Slayer Classic. Here's the back of the packaging, just a wide shot here, basically the poster of the game. We zoom in a little bit on the top half, it just says Doom Eternal. Top right, McFarlane Toys. Bottom half, the rest of the poster. On the bottom left, hashtag McFarlane Toys, a bunch of their socials as well as their website. Far right, McFarlane Toys right there. And then you're not going to be able to find these in other stores, but I have the barcode just in case. Let's go ahead and get this figure out of the packaging. And guess who finally has a rotating base? So now you don't have to see my fat fingers trying to do a 360 with the figure. So I was going to sing the praises of this figure because there are some problems with it. But for the most part, I was really digging it. With some of the articulation it has is actually pretty good compared to the previous Doom Slayer, and it just is a really nice looking piece, but then I encountered a huge major problem with my particular figure that was absolutely gut-wrenching. So yeah, not super happy with this figure. Let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories this figure comes with, then we'll take a closer look at the figure. One of the accessories that he does come with is a base. It's very plain. They have a ton of these. I don't know how many of these they have stockpiled, but we've gotten this plenty of times with tons of different McFarlane Toys figures. It's just this one has the Doom printing on there. And then we have the super shotgun with the nice pitchfork on it. And this is pretty much the exact same sculpt as the previous one, except the previous one has slightly different paint apps. This is a bit more gold, or this is a little bit like, I don't know, it's richer gold in here for some, I don't really know how to describe it. It's just a little bit more yellow here compared to this one. And then there's brown underneath the shotgun on the previous one. But other than that, everything looks pretty much the exact same. I wish we got a different weapon, a different gun in the Doom series for these figures. Dear Lord, there's tons of different guns. You couldn't have, this is your return to this line. You couldn't have given us, like a assault rifle or just honestly really anything. Or the BFG. Come on, man, the BFG. Come on. Anyway, it still looks pretty nice. It has some really good details. It's very accurate to how it looks in the game. And it does have some nice silver paint. You already know for a fact this figure is not going to be able to do it two-handed. But let me go ahead and just pop this bad boy if I can. These hands are really tight. These are different, most definitely different hands compared to the previous Doom Slayer. But yeah, it fits in there actually really well. I just can't really get two-handed. Poses very well. We do have a removable blade here though, which has some nice silver paint, and I believe is the exact same sculpt, except the previous one looks a little bit more weathered on the silver, and this is brown, or like a bronze almost, and this is like a army or very, very dark green here. But everything else about this is pretty much the same. It unplugs like that. You can see the hole in the port. There's really, there has slightly a second peg here, but really this is the main peg right there that's gonna go right in there, and then it likes to wobble a little bit, unfortunately. So I'm going to show you the biggest problem I have with this figure, and I'm a little anxious actually. I have no idea how this is going to go. So I was, playing around with this figure as soon as I opened it, rotating ahead a tiny bit. This is really, really gummy here. And I was like, I don't know what's going on here. And so I decided ever so slightly to pop off the head, which it is actually pretty easy to pop off. Pop it off. I have to focus back up. Do you see this? Look at that. That's like a pretzel. That's disgusting. What the hell? I mean, what? Oh my god, this is horrible. Absolutely horrible. This was shipped like this. What am I gonna do? I don't think there's a figure in my collection that has a neck peg that will, exactly replace this. I can't get a replacement figure. They're sold out. I mean, I'm gonna have to contact the company and see if I can get one, if they have any, just as like a back pile of figures just in case one of these breaks, or if they have one of these pegs here, these neck pegs, I'm just gonna contact them and be like, look, send me a neck peg. I'll replace the damn thing myself. So this is so horribly disappointing. Come on. I know that, these are more like the adult collectors, but I would at least expect something like this, no matter if it's for ages 4 and up, 8 and up, 15 and up, and plus to, not have shit like this. Really? Excuse my language, but that's so annoying. I'm going to have to do this off camera to try to pop this back in. Okay, so I was able to get the head sitting on here pretty naturally and straightforward. I need to get on a soapbox really quick and just rant, because I really don't want to be a McFarlane Toys hater. I want to like their stuff. They have some really nice licenses between, their whole company, like DC, Mortal Kombat, and Spawn, of course, and now, some of the Doom stuff here. But, it's not just these little QC issues that bugs me. It's just all across the board. They have some problems that's just like, you are trying, I know you're trying to compete with domestic companies like Hasbro, NECA, and a bunch of others, but it just seems like you're not listening, and there's just way too many problems with these products. Don't get me wrong. Companies like Hasbro with Marvel Legends and Star Wars: The Black Series have had some really big mishaps lately. So I'll be fair in some videos if I really don't like the product. But I'm really disappointed overall with McFarlane Toys. Again, I don't want to be a hater. I want to like the company. They just do some things that really annoy me. This is an exclusive $25 figure, and it shouldn't have this bad of a QC issue. And I've had like 3 figures, one also from McFarlane Toys, and then one from SH Figure Arts, Tamashii Nations, that have had these joints that are just so weird and gummy that they're going to break. I don't know what's going on with my luck lately. I have bad luck with some of these joints. So that's my soapbox. It sounded like a needless rant. Some of you are just like, shut the hell up. And don't worry. I'm going to, because I am going to start singing the praises of this figure. This head sculpt with the really messed up peg. This is a really beautiful head sculpt. I love it. I love the visor. It does kind of look like a separate piece glued in there, but it's not too much of a separation between the plastic, so that's fine. It's kind of has this tarnishing. It almost looks like it's a little bit of a black wash, and then a little bit of rust in some areas, and some dirt in here. Lots of nice scratches throughout all the details in the head. I might need to turn this down a little bit. And yeah, it is really great. The silver paint in here too. I actually can't tell how much paint they've used, because I feel like they've molded some of this plastic in silver. I could be completely wrong, but it just is such a nice looking head sculpt. So I do love the head sculpt. Now for the rest of the body, which is completely brand new, and I think it looks extremely awesome. Lots of great damaged parts like bullet holes and whatnot. You have these pectorals in the armor there. It's nice, very bright green. Looks like there's a little bit of like a wash or shading of bright green in this. It's a pretty bright green already with the plastic, but they've made it even more bright with the paint. And there's also some scratches pretty much throughout the whole armor piece. This is all covering the chest is a soft plastic here. And I don't remember if the previous flame belch was this easy to remove, but you can't really see it that well in there. There's dark green plastic. This is bright green, of course, covering a dark green overlay sculpt, and this ball joint pops right in pretty easily. Where is there it is. I believe these are the exact same sculpts for the flame belch, just done differently. This looks more tarnished. This is a lot more brighter green with black, just like the colors on the classic outfit. And then you have that exposed stomach, which they have some paint apps in here. They're not the cleanest, but it does look like dirt in there, so that's cool. And you do have some nice tears pretend that was my that was my TV. Sorry. Some nice tears pretty much throughout the whole stomach there. The muscles in the arms, all that looks great. There's even some veins sculpted in the forearm. All that looks good. That separation in the sculpt where you see with the the short sleeve is nice. They are adopting this new wrist articulation for figures, so it's no longer kind of like SH Figure Arts where it swivels in 2 areas, then hinges, and then you can make it go up and down or in and out. They're just doing Marvel Legends style where it's a hinge. I don't know how people have reacted so far, but if I'm being honest, I think that's a good choice. I think some of the sculpting is going to get broken up a little bit because you can see that fits like that, and then it kind of works actually. But the actual gloves, I think, look really good with nice knuckles in there, and they look like leather too with some stretching going on. I really like how these gloves came out. So no problems here, you know, when it comes to detailing throughout the rest of the figure. So far, when I'm looking at the upper torso, there's some silver buckles right there. That looks great. I'm going to pop this off for now because it might be a little cumbersome. They do have some silver in the pouches. These little shells have some nice silver paint. It's a very bright, like khaki green, I guess. It's a little bit of stretching sculpted in there too. It's time to turn the brightness up a little bit. Nice silver on the buttons on the pouches. All that looks great. I love how this looks. And the belt, you can see there's even a bunch of details in the belt loops. I really dig that. There's some wrinkles in this part of the shirt right here, which is actually, they continue it pretty well, and whatever texturing goes up in there too. There may not be wrinkles, but there's definitely texturing. Then the pants, you see that Doomguy butt, and it has some stretching. Some nice wrinkles. Lots of tears and scratches on the upper thighs. Let's back out a little bit. And it's a good thing you guys got to see the 360 earlier. I mean, those details were probably a little bit small when I was doing the 360, but at least you got to see how it looks. So don't have to waste your time with it doing a 360 anymore. In my shaky hands, nice tear there. I like how the shin guards and the knees came out, and there's actually some detail on the back of the legs where the joint is. All these great details. Almost like it's like rivets or whatnot going on here. I'm not entirely sure. But there's some scratches too on the shins, and these are pretty soft plastic, so be careful with these if you have this. And then we get to the top of the boots, which actually has some really good details. It looks like there's a little bit of some brown dry brushed in there. I don't know if it'd be dry brush, but there's definitely some paint apps of like some light brown in the dark brown boots. A little bit of treading on the bottom of the feet, but not a lot. It still is, you know, I ranted, but it's really good looking. I'm actually going to start off the articulation section with the flame belts. I maybe forgot to talk about some of these details a little bit closer because I was kind of going through it. But it has this ball joint in here so it can, you know, move around a little bit, goes up and down. It does have a ball joint towards the top of the actual flame belt right there. I'm not moving that head. I ain't. But you got to see that it has a like a ball peg system where it will allow it to go up and down, tilt a little bit. I can't even do it right now. And then it will swivel. But again, I can't properly show you the head articulation, unfortunately, because I'm going to break something. Yeah, not great. I believe we do have a little bit of a butterfly joint that's really loose actually on both sides of the shoulder sockets, but the arms go all the way around and they do go in and out. And it's pretty loose here, but it actually still keeps a pose, so that's good. We do have a single joint elbow that you can maybe bend a little bit more and it gets almost 90, but when you rotate it and then you get to the muscle, that is less than 90. This was really their chance to improve the articulation on this thing, to give it a little bit more, and they blew it if you ask me. But we do have the swivel at the wrist, as well as a hinge, and that's actually a really good amount of hinge there. The ball joint at the waist in 2 areas is actually better than I expected. It has a really good back motion and a really good forward motion, and then you combined with the actual waist, which will swivel. It's not tight, so that's good. And it can swivel up here too. You get all this different range of motion, and it works really well. Even the legs, you know, we have this soft plastic overlay in front of the crotch, which it doesn't want to kick out all the way because of that, unfortunately. You can actually get a decent back motion, though. a perfect split about, and it doesn't have a thigh cut, but there is some space up in here, so that way it actually allows for a little bit of rotation at the thigh. This is the most disappointing part. They really could have had an extra peg in here for the knees, because this is the bend of the knee. That is horrible. Not even 90. I know how it's sculpted. He's a very bulky character, but come on. You can make it work. There's a way. You have a swivel at the knee, though. I really want to say there's a swivel here at the ankle, but I don't think there is, because I tried to rotate it. It just doesn't feel like it's existent. So don't even try if you ask me. We do have a pivot, though, which is pretty good. And this is all softer plastic, too, so it doesn't get in the way of the pivot. And then up and down here at the foot. One thing I want to mention that the plastic is so freaking hard on the hands, and I could even see a little bit of stressing, that like you can't even fake, like the arm articulation is already hindered enough to where you really can't do two-handed poses. But you definitely can't now, because you can't, it's not soft enough to put this in there and, you know, put other weapons in his hand. Try to make it like he's holding the underbarrel of this Halo shotgun. So you are restricted to one-handed gun poses at all times with this figure, and that sucks. Hey everybody, Todd McFarlane here, creator of Spawn and McFarlane Toys. Just wanted to interject in TF Nut's review really quick and say, sorry that you weren't satisfied with our product, TF Nut. We usually strive for a high standard of quality when it comes to our products, so sorry this didn't meet your liking. But one question I have for you is who? When I say that, I mean who asked and who cares? That's right, you bought the product, dumbass. You knew what you were signing up for. So why don't you stop complaining about my products like you always do? Maybe go outside, touch some grass every once in a while. Maybe stop simping over anime women, too. You know what, Todd? Fair enough. Anyway, let's get to some size comparisons. Over on the far left and right, you can see the 6-inch scale figures, Marvel Legends, and Star Wars The Black Series. They're going to be way shorter than 7-inch scale figures like the McFarlane toy stuff. So right next to him on the left, that is the first ever Doom Slayer. It is a little bit taller than the figure in the middle. And then on the right, that's the Marauder. I really like that figure, actually, which is going to be a little bit taller than the new Doom Slayer in the middle. Overall, I have to give credit where credit is due. This is a really nice looking figure that has great details in paint and sculpting overall. Even though I have problems with the head, it has really great sculpting and paint, like I just said. I wish the flame belch maybe, I mean, the look of it is going to be the same, but I wish it came with like a flame effect. That would have been nice. But the rest of this figure, it does look really nice. I like all the different greens. I love the armor. I love that even though some of the dirt on the figure is a little bit sloppy, they at least put some in there, like mostly in the belly button and the stomach, and it does really bring out some details. It has a lot of great unique sculpting on this figure. It's just McFarlane Toys problems, and then that particular problem with my head really keep me from loving this figure. I don't even know if I entirely like it. Again, it's a really good looking figure, but I'm just extremely disappointed. I really wanted to like it. I don't know if this is my final straw with McFarlane Toys, but man, I am so bummed out. Expectations were low, and they just weren't even met, unfortunately. Again, great details, but those problems I have with this figure really hurt it for me. I know if you own this figure, you don't have these problems. A lot of you are not going to agree, and that's fine. I wish I could love it. Really, I really wish I could, man. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment down below what you think about the figure, what you think about the review. Leave a like, share amongst your friends. Follow me on Instagram for more content over there. I'll see you guys later. Todd, I don't hate you. Please don't hate me for that horrible impression I did.